Hey, this is Aaron Price, the CEO of TechUnited, the founder of Propelify. And when I think of the early days of Propelify, I have very strong memories of my friend Dave Meltzer, who took a chance on joining us that first year and shockingly has come back ever since. I am so excited to welcome Dave to the show today. Dave, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
I just have to tell you, it should be no shock that I will come back in many lifetimes because my people are Propelify people. I heard about Propelify the year before. Gary Vaynerchuk keynoted it. And I told my team, I said, I don't care what it costs me. Get me on that stage. I need to meet these people. They're my kind of people. And led by you, our friendship, but also the community has really expanded not only to help other people, but to create abundance, to make a lot of money. There's been a lot of money since the first Propelify that people have made and shared with others.
You know, that's interesting you bring that up, because one of my favorite things about the community, it's an event that starts it, but it's really about this community, is seeing how people's careers have evolved and how Gary has evolved. And you probably know Mark Laurie from Jet, who bought the Timberwolves. Like, how we've seen so many people hit the stage or be exhibitors or just be attendees and go on to totally, change and enhance their lives. And I know that you give some fantastic advice. I'm going to throw you a little curveball here. I have two young daughters. I am terrified of them going to college. You are with one of them now, yours now, I believe. What would you tell me to prepare myself for this big life shift? I got a little while to go, Dave, but I got to get in the game.
Yeah, well, first of all, the biggest epiphany that I've had from being a parent is I used to think, there's only two type of people: ignorant people and ignorant people, meaning ignorant, ignorant, humble people. You don't know what you don't know. And then there's ignorant, arrogant people that think they know what they know, especially in business, right? But I used to think the ignorant, arrogant people were the ones that didn't care about us, that were manipulative, liars, oversellers, back-end sellers. What I learned from my girls going to college is that every parent, if you love your child too much, which you most likely do, you turn into this ignorant, arrogant person that somehow you know what's best for your child all of a sudden. You may have an idea. You don't know what best school is for her, what best dorm, what best major. You have to allow them to learn and to allow them to grow. And the hardest thing as a parent is to allow them to have pain, struggles, setbacks, failures, mistakes, and most importantly, Aaron, boyfriends. And you got to allow that to happen. And you have to stay quiet. And when they come to you for advice, say, here's the situational knowledge that I have, the experience that I have, apply it to your life. I'm here for you. I always say three things: do your best, learn lessons, and have fun. I love you. I have your back, but most importantly, you got to learn the lessons that yourself. Because I'm at this school. I have no idea what these kids are thinking. I can only, I can only be here to help. So that's the lesson that I've learned.
Not unlike starting a company, right? I mean, there are so many challenges and hurdles that go into building a business, and I think I see so many parallels in parenting. I think a startup is like another child.
Yes.
But for people who don't know David's background, I mean, you have had wild success to really hitting rock bottom, right? I mean, I know this story well, but I want you to remind people who might be new to the Dave Meltzer show some of the amazing life stories that you've dealt with in business.
So I grew up poor, single mom, 6 kids, packed by literally dinner in a paper bag while she worked 2 jobs, teaching and then filling up turnstiles with greeting cards, to making my first $1 million 9 months out of law school. My first exit with West Publishing, $3.4 billion in 95. By the time I was 30, I ran Samsung's phone division, multimillionaire. Lee Steinberg, Jerry Maguire hired me to be the CEO of that notable sports agency. So not only was I a multimillionaire, but I had access to everything, which was really dangerous, because not only did I have money, but I could, get people and afford to be where people couldn't even afford to be, no matter how much money you had. Then I think to my wife,
just tell me the bad part, David. Tell me when it gets bad.
Right now, man, my wife, I started literally buying things that I didn't need to impress people I didn't like, partying way too much. And my wife saved my life by telling me she wasn't happy and she wanted to leave me, and told me I better take stock in who I was. And I started to live with different values. And 2 years after I shifted, I lost everything, over $100 million, but I've made everything back with a different perspective. And speaking of children, one of the things that changed my perspective is somebody told me, David, do you know the way you feel about your children? You'll give them anything, do anything for them, but you know you're not capable of knowing everything and doing everything for them. Well, there is an all powerful, omniscient source that feels the same way about you, except for it actually knows that. And the way that it teaches you is the same way your parents taught you. You reach your hand towards the fire, they scream at you, and they make you feel bad, right? They give you pain so you don't burn yourself. Well, that's what happens in entrepreneurship. People mistake their parent yelling at them when they don't get what they want, they don't raise the money, it didn't work out like they wanted, whatever it is. That's simply pushing you, propelling you to a better place. It's not punishing you. It's not a stop sign. It's a turn signal. So my journey and my relationship with money has shifted the paradigm to, instead of getting happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy, I know I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? So I spend the majority of my time and focus on clearing what I'm doing to interfere with what is already allotted me, allowed to me, and sharing with others. See, the way we acknowledge what we have, Aaron, is to give it away. You only can acquire the knowledge of what you have by giving it away. So I try to utilize a reverse tiding in my life, giving 90% of everything I can away, but making enough that I can live a great life on 10%.
What have you've had these kinds of very strong principled views since I've known you. And I wonder how it's been a little while since we've had a chance to really connect. I'm wondering how the pandemic is it reshaped any of those thoughts? Is it solidified certain things? Has it turned anything upside down that you used to think was one way is now another?
Well, once again, teaching radical humility, I thought I understood my non-negotiable values, but I will tell you that, sitting at home, not only with my children, but my niece came to live with us. She was alone in Los Angeles. I would trade you my Super Bowl sideline passes, which are some of the most coveted things that I get to do, to have one night to eat dinner with my family. The value of sharing quiet, reflective time with my family, I once again took it for granted. And that reminded me not to take for granted what other people are wishing for, meaning breath, my health, my family, all these things. I once again, at some degree, was taking for granted what other people was wishing for. Now I have a newfound perspective of appreciation, especially for my time with my family. And I make different business decisions. The other one was just economical. I thought I was very efficient and economical in what I did. But as you know, you're not going to see the normal gangster rap posse of Dave Meltzer, me taking everyone around the world with me. I found a great efficiency to this mobile side of Meltzer, and I'm much more efficient on my time. I won't have 6 cameras, lights, and video with me. We'll have a very small posse of my own traveling now, because I learned the economy of being able to share my vision and to share my ideas without having to have a whole complete crew following me around.
Yeah, as exhibited by the very impressive but pretty robust mobile studio you got going at the moment. It's putting those guns to work, I think.
That's
so,
it. Sponsored by Jeep.
So when an entrepreneur, does someone have to live through what you explained in your career? Can someone sympathize and empathize with that scenario and skip the bad part? Or do they have to go through that kind of adversity to come out the other end and say, shit, I should be doing this differently. I got my perspective in line.
Yeah, they don't have to. It helps to bottom out. It makes it easy. I had the easy route, believe it or not, because when you have nowhere to go, you really have to rethink things. But I've created 5 daily practices for people to have the right mindset, the right heart set, the way they feel, and conscious continuum. 5 daily practices to know what they want, who they can help, who can help them, how to get it done, prioritizing correctly, which is a huge missing component from people that don't prioritize, procrastinate, and are considered to be lazy, but they haven't done the work to find out what's important to them, not just what's urgent. Urgency is a subset, not a superset of important. Why? This is where entrepreneurship is so interesting to me. Everyone's searching for their why while they're out there to make money, help people, and have fun. I teach people to apply their why and then they create the abundance that they want. They manifest by enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit, not attaching their emotions to an end. See, ends, they are attachable to emotion. I believe in milestones. See, when you attach to a milestone, then you're attaching to the pursuit, not an end. When we attach to the end, we'll never be happy.
So does the milestone, because that's a great point, right? I constantly find myself looking at, what's next, and how do we get this better, and can I enjoy this win versus, should it have been more? So what is the the milestone towards what? Like to kind of to your, using your language, to what end? How does someone think about where that goes?
Yeah.
Did we lose you?
My not back.
I don't know if it's you or me, Dave, but going live does come with some risk, and I am not hearing anything. So we might have to cut this one short. Jasmine or Anna, feel free to jump in if it's me.
Am I back? Am I back?
You are back, yes.
I got full signal.
It's possible it's me.
We're back.
You hear me all right, Dave?
Yeah, you were black. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. It's like an old bad commercial, but you do hear me, yes? Well, this is the risk of going live, and also what happens when we try to get a lot of things done. So it's all good, Dave. I love that you're able to drop some knowledge with us here. I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. It sounds like you're still coming in and out, but it's all right. I know you gotta go take care of your family. I really appreciate you making some time for us here. Come see Dave live on stage a week from tomorrow at Propelify. He will be there giving a fantastic talk. He's going to be emceeing for part of the day. I think he's going to even be doing a pop-up meetup with his crew. Dave, I'm going to, even though I don't know if you can see me or not, but we do a lot of high-fiving, as you know. There, you're back now. We're going to do the high-five to the camera. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That one's for you. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Be well.